When I say the acronyms SOP, what comes to mind? Is it stock option plan or school of pharmacy, or maybe it's standard operating procedure? There's lots others that have that same acronym. But if you thought standard operating procedure, you guessed what we're going to talk about today. Standard operating procedures, or SOPs, are a compilation of dust collecting 3-ring binders that provide step-by-step instructions on how to do everything in the business. In most companies, these are just paper rates and they're way out of date. The goal of every organization should be to seek constant efficiency and improvement. Wasted materials, money, and time are the bane of every business and must be addressed constantly. However, the old definition of SOP does not serve that goal anymore. So most businesses just train on the spot because business is moving too fast to keep SOPs updated. A new hire comes in and is trained by you or somebody on the team for a week and then is told to get it done. But that rarely happens. It usually takes a lot of corrections and questions after that on-the-job training, and that new team member is now trained to just ask you questions every time they get stuck. Instead of genuinely delegating and empowering them, you train them to not be a problem solver, but to just ask what to do. So why are we talking about SOPs? Because you need to systematize your operations to make sure your queen bee role is humming along and fulfilling your big promise to your customers. My name is Jacob Curtis. I'm a CPA, a certified profit first professional and business coach. I started Curtis Accounting Solutions to remove the stress of doing the bookkeeping, payroll, and taxes off of quilt shop owners and to provide practical business advice to help them piece together financial freedom. I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's episode, so please make sure to leave a comment and remember to like, share, and subscribe. You will need more people than just yourself to grow and scale your business. You're great, but having team members and systems to support your business is crucial to growing your quilt shop and stopping the burnout. And when more people come along, more training comes, taking away the time that you hope to gain by hiring them. While the old 3-ring binder method of capturing all of the how-tos of your systems and business and processes was a few decades ago, today we have more technology and computing power in our hands than was used to send Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Mike off to the moon in 1969. So let's use it. You may think you have no processes, but you're wrong. Everything you and your team members do is in your heads. You have lots of repetitive tasks. And every task you do, you follow a certain process. By systematizing your process, you're creating a standard set of steps to accomplish that task. Now you only need to record and share that process with your new team members. So to get started, all you need to do is grab your cell phone. Most cell phones today have a video recording feature, and all you're going to do is hit record and narrate what you're doing while you're doing it, while you're pointing the camera at whatever it is that you're focused on. Get a tripod or a second person to be the camera operator if you need both hands to do the task. If the task is on the computer, use a screen recording platform to capture what you're doing on the computer. Here are the steps to systematizing your processes. Step 1 is to capture the activity, narrating the steps to complete that task. Remember, you do not need to be the one to create every single video recording for every task in your business. Have the team member who's currently doing that task record the video. Step 2 is to store those recordings in a place where all the team members can have access to them. And step 3 is to delegate tasks distracting you from your primary job. And finally, step 4 is to have that team member who just took on the new assigned task make a new recording and make sure it's up to date. At least annually, review the videos recorded for the various primary jobs. Have your team member create an updated recording, and if any videos need to be re-recorded or updated, have that team member do it. If multiple team members do the same task, only assign one person to do and review the recording. So why do we record videos or have these video SOPs? It's so that your new team members have an up-to-date resource other than you that they can rely on, freeing up your time and your team members' times to focus on growing the business and focus on doing their primary jobs. Remember, we want the company to spend 80% of its time doing the work that supports your QBR and fulfills your big promise. Once your systems are recorded and you have delegated as much responsibility as your resources permit, you need to determine how the outputs will be measured and monitored. For example, in our quilt shop, we want to make sure quilts are being quilted. And our metric is simple: weekly quilted square inches. Every time we complete a quilt, a step in the process is to write the number of square inches of that completed quilt on the big calendar. At the end of the day, we tally up the total number of square inches for the day to check our progress for the week. We instantly know if things are humming along or if we need to make some kind of change. Again, the key is to always have one person responsible for the outcome of each task. To be unclear is to be unkind. As the quilt shop owner, you probably started out doing everything yourself. But as you hire team members, You need to be clear on the outcomes that are needed to serve the QBR and ultimately fulfill your big promise to your customers. To make sure your team accomplishes those outcomes in a way that aligns with your company values, you need to have reliable video recordings for each task that needs to be done. The natural tendency of people is to defer decisions. Just think about this. When you ask your spouse what they want for dinner, how often do you get the response, "I don't know, whatever you want"? Oh, and did you catch that you asked the question instead of deciding or even making a suggestion? Team members are the same way, especially when they're new. If you're getting resistance from your team members that you've empowered to make decisions, whatever you do, do not make the decision for them. It's going to be a temptation, but don't do it. You must let them research, determine the best course of action, and then commit to it. After all, we're trying to get you out of the day-to-day operations and out of the day-to-day deciding. You can't do that if you keep making all of those decisions day after day. When your team members come to you with questions and problems to solve, answer their questions with your own questions. What do you think we should do? Does that align with our mission and goals? How will you handle that situation? How does this affect our big promise? If your team members respond with, "I don't know, that's why I'm coming to you" answer, you respond with a version of, "Well, we hired you because you're smart and driven. We hired you to find the answers. Please think about it and return to me with a proposed solution, and then we can discuss it." When they come back, get ready to smile, nod, and give your okay. Even if you disagree with their idea, bite your tongue and support them. After the decision has been made and the actions have been carried out, do a debrief and have that team member share what they learned and what they would do differently next time. Always do the debrief after they have made and executed on that decision. The only time to intervene is if you see them making a decision that will have dire consequences. If you see danger, make your team aware immediately. You're monitoring their decisions, not deciding for them. When observing a team member's decision, rather than comparing it to what you might have done, ask yourself if it is a decision that serves the company. How do you empower someone to make decisions? By rewarding mistakes. When things don't go right and you punish the person responsible, a big lecture, maybe you point out the mistake, you fire them, you cut their pay, you roll your eyes, anything, you instill a fear of making bad decisions, reinforcing that your team will come back to you for the right decision again and again. But if you say that that outcome wasn't what was expected as a company, but you're proud that they took the initiative and the chance to move the company forward, tell them that you want to keep them that way and ask them what they learned and what they would do differently in the future. Ask what you can do to better serve them and help them while not deciding for them. You will not only see your company start running without you, but you will have improved your relationships with your team members. Toyota's world-famous manufacturing process is based on the same core belief. The decision-making must be pushed down to the people making those decisions. And those should be those that are right there in front of the problem. When the line worker has a problem, they can stop the entire line and the managers hurry over to provide the support for that person. The line worker gives out the commands and the directions, and the managers provide the support to get the line up and running again. That is decision-making power to the right people, the people closest to the problem. So take action by capturing your first process. It is overwhelming to think about all the processes that you have in your company, but you won't scale if you don't take the first step. Have your team members capture a process. The team members who make themselves irreplaceable may think they've secured their job, but they are compromising the company's stability and preventing themselves from going beyond that job. Capturing systems and processes is a way to provide the knowledge each team member has accumulated to the rest of the company. It enables the team members to grow into new work and new opportunities. When more than one person can do the various primary jobs around the company, you provide backup, and you and your team can take breaks and vacations. Not only that, you as the business owner can use the newly found free time to design and improve your business, scaling it to new heights. Capturing your standard processes will allow you to scale your business. So what process are you going to capture first? Tell me in the comments below or email me at jacob@curtisaccountingsolutions.com. And remember to follow me at Curtis Accounting Solutions on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. Thanks for watching and talk to you soon. Bye.